Hey, and welcome to episode 38, The Early Crow. We're back. We're papless. Turnbull's completely denusted him with fibre to the node. It's cooked him and everyone else that's operating out of Bondi tonight. So we apologise for his absence, but we blame Malcolm Turnbull for cutting corners as he's selling assets, the dog. This episode, like every episode, is brought to you by Makita. Right now, get amazing bonuses with selected Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max kits and combos. Limited time only. Visit makita.com.au for details. Makita XGT. More intelligent, more efficient, more power, more Makita. P-Rat, Dan Bowman, welcome. Boys, it's been a pretty good week for sport and for racing, especially considering it's the middle of winter. The US Open delivered... like the whole 4 days was very consumable golf, and it went right down to the wire. Dan, welcome.
It's Group 1 of the season, and I think that's one of the best majors we've seen in the last sort of 7 or 8 years, you know, outside of Tiger's 2019 Masters. That this weekend sort of sucked you in big time, I reckon.
Pratty, thoughts? Did you get much of it?
I caught some of the KO minis because it's at a bad time with work and didn't watch any over the weekend.
What sort of job have you got? You're working sort of 3 a.m. till 9:15 a.m, are you?
No, yeah, well, I'm not going to get up at the crack of dawn like you do to jump on the computer and do things to before the kids get up, mate. I enjoy my sleep currently, so I'm just...
enjoy it while you can.
That's exactly right, so I am enjoying it while I can, but... I know they were talking about Bryson's bunker shot on the 18th, but I reckon that par save out of the trees on, was it the 8th or the 7th hole, when he was in the trees off the tee and then put it past the green to the same spot as he did on Friday and then chipped it up on the green and made par there. That, yes, he had a few more wobbly shots after that, but that surely gave him a little bit of momentum doing something that he did on Friday, I would have thought.
I thought he was heroic. He was... like out of position on like so many holes. He's just so big and strong, and he muscled it out of he got some like friendly breaks in the crap, but he still got it done. I think Rory's copping it worse than he deserves to for missing the putt on 18. I text you blokes in our chat, like that was an ugly putt. I'd seen it before, and it was like on the top of her spine. You could see it, and that putt was tough, but the previous one was weak. However, I'm off Rory big time. I think he did shit the bed because the putt was like very missable, but leaving the chip above the hole was like very, very dumb. And having a little tantrum and leaving after the moral high ground some of those blokes have stood on for fucking 2 years was disgraceful. Bryson has been... I'm not going to say that. Bryson has been right in and like every major and handled himself like really, really well when he's lost. He was one of the first people to shake Schauffele's Xander's hand post the PGA. Rory just pissed off in his car. But I thought he really lowered his colours in more ways than one on Monday morning our time, Sunday afternoon in America. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I agree. I thought the putt on 16 was the one, you know, like I think if he makes that putt on 16, he probably makes that putt on 18. I think that missing the one on 16 had him really second guessing hitting the one on 18 hard enough to get through the break. And yeah, he was on his jet before Bryson had finished his trophy presentation, and he'd landed back home. I think he lives in like Florida or something, before Bryson had finished on live from after the presentation. Like just woeful. Like couldn't hang around 5 more minutes. It was pretty ordinary.
Yeah, I think ironically, there's starting to become big parallels, but like, is Rory McIlroy this generation's Greg Norman?
It's hard to say because like a couple of the times Norman got beat were just miracle shots. Like was it Bob May at the Masters out of the bunker?
Yeah, when he chipped in.
Yeah, US Open, another one, another chip in, like just a couple of absolute ridiculous defeats. Whereas Rory, that was his fault this week. I think he had every chance at US Open last year and didn't get it done. And then probably at St Andrews, he didn't putt well, but Cam Smith just went out and had one of the all-time final rounds you could ever have, and probably just took that one away from him. But definitely the last 2 US Opens, he's probably choked him away.
We do have to just confess too that 2 of the worst punters we know and the biggest human curses we know, and more so confirmed today with Boston getting it done and punts winning the most cash he's ever won in his whole life. So he used up all his juju and hasn't got much. On the Celtics getting it done, he was on Rory with Justin, the Crust, Juzzy, McInerney. So, Rory did have that weight on his shoulders, and that weight has brought a lot of superstars undone. You got to sympathise with them slightly. I'd giggle whenever I see the big boys on their tip sheets on our socials.
Yeah, it's amazing that they only had them on their tip sheet as well, and Rory still couldn't get it done. But Dan, you told me offline, I think you need to inform Dicko of your, let's call it punting heroics around the golf this weekend. Do you want to explain what you've done during the week?
So I had backed 3 or 4 players at the start of the week, and then after round 1, I backed Rory at $3.50, and then after round 2, I backed Bryson at $5. So coming down the stretch, I was just waiting to try and trade off a little bit. When Rory hit his second to just short of the green on 18, I cashed that bet out it was about 250% profit, and I let the Bryson bet ride. So I ended up nearly collecting basically both of them.
How good's that going?
So I was pretty chuffed.
Have you seen a racehorse like this week, or has it just been like the US Open trading that into the NBA Finals?
I seen you at Sandown on Saturday, and I was on the tools, strapping one myself.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I done you out of a box of golf balls on the second last race with a head-to-head bet.
Yeah, and I think on behalf of Dan, he'd like to thank the track staff there at Sandown for making it impossible to make ground there on Saturday and really sort of helping his case. Good ride, good tactics you on that horse. And Geordie Childs, was it?
Yeah, he rode to suit the track, but I don't think the horse is suited on soft ground. So, but he still ran okay.
Where to next for that horse? Is it me?
He'll just probably wait for the rest of the week and make a decision, but he'll probably just have a month off now and then come back for the spring for the dry tracks. There's nothing at Flemington for him, and Caulfield and Sandown have just been pretty ordinary lately in terms of one racing really biased and the other, once it gets wet, it sort of stays wet. So I'll give him a month now before it gets too muddy at home, and then have him back for the spring.
I mean, Dan was on the tools on Saturday, Dicko, but you and I spoke to him. We're standing at the pre-parade ring, having a look at Windstorm, your horse, on Saturday, and we just hear this bloke chirping in the background going, I backed this bloke for top Scandinavian, not top 5. So his head was really in the game before Is It Me was running. It was about 10 minutes before the race, and Dicko's like, you swear he wouldn't have a horse run around in 10 minutes, but nah, more worried about his golf pick for the early crow, which we love. That's what this family's all about. But Dicko, we can't say that he was working too hard. We had a good gas bag for half an hour, and then yelling at us that we put his selection in wrong.
Well, you weren't working too hard either. I don't think you saw a bloke that you didn't stop and talk to all Saturday. Should have seen it then, honestly.
It's called networking. Pratty was networking.
He was good. He was good on Saturday, but he did opt for the Carlton Dry when he got his shout, which really made me consider everything, to be honest. Where he's at as a bloke.
Oh, here we go.
And can we afford to carry him around with us? I don't know. Like, if you're
carrying me around, so that's one to start with. I think that one's firmly cemented. But Dan, I walked up to the bar in the members on Saturday, and I was like, I'll have a goat can, please. And she goes, sorry, we don't have any goat cans. And I just looked at the fridge, and I was like, what the fuck do I get him? I thought if I got him a Carlton Draft, it might be on for young and old. There was Coronas, there was Asahi's, all the good brands. But I was like, I'll just get him a Carlton Dry. It's pretty neutral. Like most people will happily get it. And he wandered back in, and I handed him the beer, and he just looked at me like, if you ever do this again, like, just don't ever come to the races with me again. I was like, all right,
No,
loud and clear, no Carlton Dry.
What painted me a certain light. I actually didn't. I didn't say a word. I didn't say anything. I just looked, and then you said, "Tell me what you really think." And I said, "Are you sure?" And you said yes, and then I let it rip.
What would you have accepted though out of the choices?
Every other beer before that one. Every other beer.
Even the 4 Horses. You would have taken a can of 4 Horses.
Yep.
Before you would have taken that.
Yep.
Oh,
can you believe it?
That's rough.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd have gone
Shout out to
the
the MRC though. What a job they're doing. You got goat cans down the bottom. You don't have them up the top. What's the point?
You're probably lucky the members was even open.
That was the owners. It was the owners. Pratty's.
Sorry, mate.
Confused.
Yeah, my apologies.
Do you think Rory can bounce back at Royal Troon, or do you think that cooks him for the next however long?
It almost will cook him so good that it might take the pressure off him. Like he brings pressure on himself by choking, by like cheerleading for the PGA, divorcing his missus, getting back with his missus. Like, it's got a lot of shit going on, Rory. Maybe if he just sort of, because he's gone so bad and like that was a bad loss, maybe he's just like, fuck it now, and just starts to play a little bit freer. Because it looked like there was some good shots. The coverage I thought was actually below par, but there was some good shots. Like when he was teeing off on 18, you could see that the 17th green was right there. You know, and Bryson's ball was like a great golf shot into that 17th green. And that would have put a bit of pressure on him. A little bit more. But, I don't know.
It's amazing to think we're talking this way about a bloke who he's played 32 majors and he's made 18 top 10s and 9 top 5s, and we're talking a bit like, and he hasn't got the job done, but it's I think all of us would kill to have his career, but he just can't seem to get over that final hurdle and get that major again.
I think they need to merge the tours so badly. Like, the live guys just bring so much value to the product.
But do you think they bring the value because we don't see them all the time? Like, I think if the tours are merged and you're seeing them all the time, it's not the same. Whereas because we only get to see them 4 times, I think that's why it brings the juice. Like, could you imagine Bryson every weekend? He'd frizzle you if you had to watch him every weekend.
Yeah. But if they merge them, I think they're going to run like as their own things. But instead of getting them 4 times a year, we might get them 10 or 12.
How good would a live versus PGA be? And piss off the President's Cup.
It's just, but that's the arrogance of the sport. Like, that's the most obvious moral to be a success. Like, Bryson didn't play Ryder Cup and you got beat because of your moral compass.
He's not made the Olympic team either.
Oh, let's talk Olympic team, actually. Thanks you for reminding me.
Before you go on, can you believe that, though? So Bryson can only accumulate points for his standings in world golf in the majors for the Olympic team, and he's 10th in the world right now, but he's the 6th American overall, so he hasn't made the Olympic team because he plays on live.
Yeah, it's like against the like Olympics. He's not a criminal.
Mm.
It's dumb.
It is
it's good
dumb.
for us, or it would be, if we didn't take basically a full-time American and avoid the only major winner. Well, there's 2 major winners in Australian golf right now. One of them's Adam Scott, who's probably past it. Like, his tippy-top stuff. Cam Smith is not yet at his peak. He's a major winner. And I don't know if he's ruled himself out, but I'd be very surprised if he has, and I think it's a fucking disgrace that he is not an Olympian again. He went to Tokyo. Jason Day wouldn't have stepped foot in Australia, I reckon, in 10 years. Dan.
Yeah, I said that a few weeks ago, and like Cars sort of in the chat explained it why, but you know, I find it hard that Cam Smith's not there. Jason Day's had a good 12 months, don't get me wrong, and would probably take that second spot anyway. It'll be good to see Min Woo there, but, to not have Cam Smith, it's just, it's a bit embarrassing.
It's an absolute disgrace.
You're still going to get the two best we're still going to get Scotty and Xander from America. They can't sort of fault that team, but God, the Ryder Cup was a joke to not have Bryson. Who just shot a 59 in a live event, and you're picking Justin Thomas, who didn't even make the final 80 for the FedEx Cup. Oh my God. And didn't the full swing season 2 just make it even worse?
Yeah.
What a jerk off, Zach Johnson. Didn't even, it's just so bad.
Old Zachary.
What?
Anyway.
How do you think you'd go, Dan, if you swung the golf club like Bryson as well? I can't hit him at the best of times, and the way with those longer shafts and the iron play and the wedge play that he did, which obviously helped him on 18 getting out of that bunker. But I can't believe the way he swings and putts with his
No.
I dislocate my shoulder.
He said the longer shaft helped him be upright at some other shot that he needed to be upright. It doesn't really help him in a bunker.
No, he said it helped him on that shot to get the extra distance.
Yeah.
He said it hurt him the shot before under the tree because he couldn't get the club low enough because the shaft's too long.
They're really misleading too, because his 5-iron would be what would that be like, Dan? It's not like your 5-iron or mine.
Nah, they were trying to explain it on the weekend, but it's a bit too complex for me.
I think, say your 5-iron, Pratty, is 34 degrees, his 5-iron's 17.
Yeah, like a 3-iron.
It's unbelievable.
What about how he changed his drive ahead 10 minutes before his tee time on the last
And then didn't hit a fairway.
And he's like, I probably shouldn't have done that. It needed to be worked in a little bit, and I didn't do it.
That's why, maybe if you had him every week, you would be frizzled by him. But he stopped and signed that young bloke's hat, and
he took the cup back out to the crowd once he won, which he said he was going to do if he did. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I reckon?
You see the golf content, Dan, at the end of the day with Johnson Wagner, or might have his name wrong, but he's got the yips pretty bad, right? And he does shit around the greens all the time, and he just yips them and sculls them and knifes them and gets them fat. And he was in the bunker trying to redo it, and he sculled one and almost hit into the clubhouse. And then Bryson came out of the dark with the trophy and walked him through it, and he put it closer than Bryson put it. Live TV, as good as it ever gets, I reckon.
I did see that vision. That was pretty awesome. I didn't know that he sculled one into the clubhouse beforehand, though. That's great.
Yeah, and it's in the dark too. He's like, where'd it go?
He's been the best addition to the golf coverage this year on that live from. Just watching him try and recreate what the pros are doing later in the day, it's hilarious. The one I think it was the PGA, might have been the Players, when he was trying to throw the ball to make it land like Rory's had to see if it would go in the water. It's just how they come up with what he's going to do.
I think he's gone so good now that he wouldn't have to sort of say exactly what he's going to do.
Nah, they just let him do what he wants.
Yeah,
he's gold.
Yeah, you can do that on the major coverage of a world famous world sport. Couldn't do that in racing.
Oh no! Got to be a bit more proper than that, Jack.
Play the V. Where does Bryson sit? Who are your 3 favourite golfers right now? Not your golfers that you want to have to back, to win tournaments. I mean, just your favourite golfers to watch. Who are they?
Yeah, Scotty has to be one, and I think it's just because I can hit the ball okay off the tee, and I'm okay at my irons, but putting, I am useless. And I said okay, and he's already started laughing, Dan. I'm fucking a 25 handicapper. I can hit him okay, but watching Scotty putt and knowing that it's mentally in his head, it's just completely in my head as well, putting. So he's definitely one. We'll just wait a second, punters. We just want to make sure he doesn't pass out. What, do you disagree?
Good, yeah. I don't think he hit him pretty good.
And then did I say he hit him pretty good, Dan, or what?
I think if
You
we
sort of
go
said
back
I can hit him pretty good off the tee. Like
I
the
said I
first
can
time I
hit them
played golf,
okay off the tee.
you snapped your
You go-
driver. Like
check-
I said
check
I can hit them
playback.
okay off the tee. Your ears are painted on, champion.
Check the playback, someone. Check the playback.
Yeah, definitely will. We'll cut this one up for sure.
oh, and he's chant me. I've got him here, guys.
Yeah, 100%. Bryson has to be another, just the way he goes about it. And you're probably right, Dan, because we don't get him every week. And I definitely don't tune in for the live coverage because it's on YouTube and whatever it has been. It's pretty crazy to see somebody swing so aggressively at a golf ball and hit it out of the centre 10 times out of 10, except for on the weekend when he decided to change that driver head before the round. He's definitely another. And then the third, I don't really have a third. It'd be a mixture between, you always like backing an Aussie, so Cam Smith or Minwoo Lee.
Yeah, I love Scheffler. I just watching him hit irons and be just usually, apart from the weekend, so dead on is ridiculous. I think Bryson would be in everybody's top 3 at the moment. It's one of the all-time comebacks from villain to hero. Like 18 months ago, everyone hated him, couldn't stand him. Now everyone loves him. And I always will love watching Phil play because he's just and I'll tell you what I think's helped Bryson is he's gotten quite close with Phil over the last 2 years with the live, and Phil had a similar to what Bryson's done. Like a lot of people didn't like Phil early, and he interacted with the crowd and the fans and a lot of the stuff Bryson's doing now, and it turned people and won them over to like him until he obviously turned and left the PGA and everyone hated him again. But, you know, it's a pretty similar career arc in how that happened.
I like most of my opinions come from betting. Like I had a huge result on Xander to win the Masters that year. He choked and put into the water. I've never forgiven him. Colin, I hate Colin Morikawa because at the Open I was on Louis Oosthuizen at a massive price for like a really nice car, probably. Like it was significant, and he was just like a RoboCop with a fucking golf club. So yeah, fuck him. Scheffler, he just jams you all the time. Don't like him. I love Victor. He'd be my favourite, Victor Hovland. And he's in the perfect like character phase too. Like he showed a bit, showed heaps. Then he's gone off the boil a bit. Just like every good movie, you know, he's going to that dark space now and he's about to rise again. Victor will win majors and I can't wait to watch it. I love Cam Smith so much and I love Tiger. I still love Tiger. They're the 3 I'd like to watch. Victor, Cam and Tiger. Like when Tiger was on like Thursday night, our time, would it have been? Or Friday night? Whenever round 1 was, like I finished doing whatever I was doing and it just came on and then it was Tiger and I was like, oh fuck, because that means I'm going to start way later than I meant to. So yeah,
I'll tell you a good Tiger story. So Saturday morning I had to leave for the races at like 7:30, so I went back up to the house at like 6 o'clock and had some breakfast and turned the golf on, and my daughter, 6 years old, got up and sat down with me and Tiger was on. You know, we watched him for a few holes, and then Sunday morning I got up, turned the golf on, and she goes, "Where's Tiger?" And I'm like doesn't like golf. Didn't have the heart to tell her didn't make the cut, but that's how he's still that enthralling for a 6-year-old just watching golf, wanting to watch Tiger.
yeah, like he's just got something about him, eh? See, all the golfers like lose it when they play a practice round with him. I'm still trying to figure out if it's a good or a bad thing. Like I don't think it's. Min Woo played with him before the US Open, and I don't think it might have not helped him.
Min Woo's problem is he's always in attack mode. So, you know, like a US Open is just not his go. And when he gets a bit older and matures, he'll learn. But at the moment, he's just attack.
Still, he's had the right way. Plenty of time. Let's talk NBA. like Dan said before we started this, probably the most boring, disappointing NBA finals I've seen. I've caught most of it, but it hasn't distracted me from what else I was doing on my sort of computer screens, to be honest, like it normally would. Shout out to Matty Punts, one of the early Crow brothers. Great betting, full credit. Not even he could stop the Boston Celtics down.
No, he backed him at the start of the year or something, didn't he?
Yeah, and he might have shown one. He might have collected a ton and also reinvested a bit again, and they might have him to win again.
I think they ended up with a record of like 80-21 or something like that today, like for the season and playoffs combined. Like, lost 21 games for the season. It's ridiculous.
What was the record that the Warriors had in like the home and away season and then lost the final?
73-9, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
It might have been the same as the Bulls record.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then lost. And then they recruited KD.
A big man. A Slim Reaper.
It was just disappointing, like Dallas just did not give a yelp. And it really felt like the best series was Minnesota and Denver. And I thought whoever won that series would go on and win it all. But Dallas interrupted that. And then that was probably their final to win the West. They barely threw a punch,
If Dallas think that they're, and clearly they are potentially in the championship window again for next year, what do they need to do to make their side better to compete?
I saw some stuff on Instagram or Twitter today.
Go on.
I saw LeBron and his son in Mavs gear.
It's not AI, is it?
Well, he's not actually. Yeah, like the Mavs gear has been put onto him by a computer, but they're insinuating, Dan, that he's a chance of going to the Mavericks.
Good. I'm a Lakers fan and I'm ready for him to leave and let us start building again. Sick of him.
Wondering where that was going.
Time to go, LeBron. See ya. Thank you. 2020 bubble ring. But
have you got any views about the NBA, like the next season? Or like, are you following punts and taking in what's notoriously the greatest unders of all time to back the last start premiership team to do it again?
There hasn't been a team win it, even get there the following year for like 10 years, like since those Cavs Warriors days. So it's pretty hard to do to even just get back there the following year, let alone win it again. Boston are built to be able to do it again if they stay motivated. But I think Dallas, Luka needs to get fitter, and they need to take off some of the load that he has to carry during the season. Like, he has to be on every single game during the year for them to be competitive. Like, they need nights where he doesn't have to do that, but it just wears him down, and you could just see he was carrying so many niggles through the playoffs that it just caught up with him. So they need another playmaker to help that load during the year. I think if Denver adds some depth on their bench, they can compete again. They're probably the three. Like, it depends. There's too much happens in the off-season, Paul George probably leave the Clippers if he goes to Philadelphia. That brings them into the mix. So there's a lot of water to go under the bridge.
It is good fun, though. I almost enjoy the off-season as much as the season in the NBA, because you can just follow it, all the trades, all the rumour, blah, 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 blah. It changes quick and there's a lot of action.
It's great when a big name player moves clubs and all the hype that then ends up going around it and what will happen here and who will go where and will they now be competitive. If there's one thing that they do very well, it's the off-season and keeping people engaged with the NBA content.
Like, what will Phoenix do? They have to do something, don't they?
Well, their salary cap's pretty pressed, so they can't do a hell of a lot, to be honest. So I'm not sure what they'll do. They've got a new coach, but yeah, there's not a lot they can do. I'll tell you the one thing they don't do well is having them two pests on Twitter announce the draft picks 2 minutes before it actually gets announced on TV. They can stick that in the can.
What happens?
Woj, Bowman, Shams, they tweet out the draft, who's been taken at pick whatever, like 2 minutes before it actually gets announced because of them inside men at each team. It just ruins draft day. Got to turn my phone off on draft day to stop all the notifications coming through. Like, why can't they just let things be a surprise for once in life? Got to be first. Got to be first to announce who's being taken pick one.
Yeah. The race to be first, huh?
AFL's going that way.
0. Well, apparently Christian Petrarca's parents are angry at the footy club.
Rightfully so.
He's 28 years old or something, isn't he?
I don't know. But
Old enough?
Isn't it the doctor's job to sometimes protect the player from themselves? When he went back out on the field, he looked white. The Collingwood players were saying to him, mate, get off. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but do you think that the doctor went, I reckon this guy's got a fucking split spleen and could die,
No.
but we need to win, so out you go. Like, he just misread it, and like all you do is go, oh, it just sucked. We're not angry with anyone. Like, it's life. No one's perfect. There was no malice in that.
No, I'm not saying the doctor could pick that he had a lacerated spleen or anything, but he had 4 broken ribs. Like, if you're not doing breathing tests on him, he didn't have 1 broken rib, he had 4 broken ribs. It's like, if you can't find that as a supposed medical expert, then it's probably not the job for you.
I was there, Dan, and the amount of time it took before he actually physically stood up, and then as soon as he stood up, he haunched straight back over. When he came back out on the ground, I checked the app in the second quarter, and it didn't say that he'd been substituted, and I was like, oh, the AFL app must be delayed. And when he came back out on the ground, me and my brother were standing there. We couldn't believe it. Like, how he was, like, just to even have the courage to get back out on the ground himself, or stupidity, whichever way you want to look at it. But, we couldn't believe that he ran back out on the ground. It took him all of the quarter just to get all of when the incident happened until quarter time was over for him to get off the ground. I wonder if the AFL need to move to somewhat, in a rugby league sense, what they do with HIAs. That's an independent doctor, isn't it, Dicko? Doesn't the independent doctor radio the ref and say this guy needs to come off for a HIA? I wonder if the AFL potentially needs to move to having an independent doctor on the sidelines just in case stuff like this is a 1 in a million thing, but we've seen it with head knocks as well, like Jeremy Cameron the other week, him not coming off. I wonder if the AFL needs to move that way as well and have an independent doctor on the sideline.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what if it was a big game and it was really close and the independent doctor ruled him out? And then on Monday morning he was at training and he was sweet and the independent doctor got it wrong.
I think there'd be...
Whatever happens, there's going to be outrage. You know, like... Fair. Fuck. That doctor would be, like, gutted. The club would care so much about all the players. It's their job to. Not just... The Carrum Cowboys doctor would care about the Carrum Cowboys. Like, deeply. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So... It's just a bit of life. And it sucked. And... Thankfully, he's all right. But, I just love, like... I just thought of it, Dan, because you're going on, like, about how they'll make things out of nothing in the American media, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, if the parents are upset, like, why the fuck would you just go over it again? Like, I'm going to go with this story that's going to make that doctor who's already feeling like shit feel a little bit worse.
But like you said, like, what... sicko journos ringing a 28-year-old's parents to see what they think. He's 28, he's an adult. Like, he's not 18, he's not 17.
Yeah.
He's an adult. Who cares what his parents think? Like, he's getting the scoop. Gotta get the good scoop.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Speaking of footy, jeez, how good are we? We'll get to the Pies in a bit. It's going to probably take longer than the Swans, but Jeez, I thought the Swans were good. They just build into their work. Slow starters. They like to give them a start. They don't jump well. Got a bit of the is it's me's and windstorms about them. They're never going to sort of settle first four and run, but they're going to savage the line. They have done just about every game this year. 9 goals for Big Joel. That's been done to death too. Just another great win from a great football club. The fucking window's wide open. We've sort of jammed that thing open. We're out in the balcony. We're kicking back in deck chairs and we're just waiting for September. Praying to God, Zeus, Allah, Buddha, Bilbo Baggins, Gary Ablett Senior, Junior, Liam and Noel Gallagher that we just get through reasonably fairly injury-wise. I think that's enough on the Swans. Any other thoughts on them?
You've still got a couple to come back in as well, which is crazy. Like, I think if the depth does need to be tested at any point in time, there's people like Matt Roberts that are starting sub, and we're potentially talking about him being a rising star. And then you've got Mills and also Parker still to come back as well, plus people like Chad's brother and things like that. So there's plenty of upside as well. Like, whilst you haven't had too many injuries, I think there is still a lot of depth there. It's definitely exciting.
Was it exciting on Sunday afternoon? I mean, I was how do I describe this? I was mothering one of the great hangovers of my 36th year on this planet. I was fucking hurting. So Dan had to say, babe, I need to go do those gas bottles I've been meaning to do. So I snuck up to the local Colonel, drive-through, zinger box, potato and gravy, popcorn chicken, the works, can of Mountain Dew, can't get in the bottle, got to get in the can, extra salt in those chips. And I pulled up in the parking lot, window down, cheeky little vape, and just indulged in what I would describe as the greatest fucking KFC I've ever eaten in my life. And I complimented that with Triple M radio, listening to the Pies North game, which my initial thought was, well, I'm not going to miss much today when I go back to sleep when I get home if I'm allowed to. And then the Roos jumped him, and it was on. Like, the callers were predicting a whitewash. Now, my question after all that shit talk is, Pratty, did you actually enjoy that win, or did you feel sort of shame? Because, okay, you go first.
I was at my partner Michelle's. I was at her grandparents' place, so I was in the good books by checking my phone every 30 seconds on the way on the comeback. We keep giving teams a little bit of a start at the moment as well, and it's going to come back to bite us shortly, for sure. I think North Melbourne deserve that win. It's 50 metres every day of the week. Like, if they had it kicked, was it Fisher that had a shot at goal? Like, I didn't watch the end of it because it was
and Pistol Pete said that the ABC caller called it a goal too.
Yeah, which is a setback for him being a North Melbourne supporter. Yeah. But it's 100% 50. Players step half a step over the mark and they get called for 50. And then there was 2 of them 15 metres over the mark. Yeah.
If I followed North Melbourne, I would be fucking headless.
Dan, gutted, did you watch? Did you have any thoughts? You were on the golf course, weren't you?
I played in the morning and then got home to watch it. I take in everything you're saying, the 50, the non-50, the non-holding the ball, the non-call touched. But they were 54 points in front. 54 points in front. I don't care if they're shit. You've got defensive structures that can shut the game down. Harry Sheasel had 1 touch in the last quarter, and Clarko left Liam Shields, who's older than me and you, Dicko, on Dacos all quarter. Why wouldn't you, with 10 minutes to go, say to Harry, go and run with him for the last 10 minutes? If you can't win the footy, stop him winning the footy. They are shit, yes, but 54 points with a quarter and 10 minutes to go. They deserve to get beat.
Do we know if Will Phillips was injured? It says sub-tactical on the thing. He did extremely well on Dacos. I cannot believe he was the one that got subbed out.
He was out of tickets. I watched it on First Crack. First Crack showed it. In the third quarter, he was just starting to taper off and couldn't run with him. So they subbed him off.
Which is fair enough. Like,
yeah, fair enough.
But then they asked...
It's like Wedding Crashers, you know, and he goes, it's like trying to cover a fucking racehorse.
But then they asked 38-year-old Liam Shields to run with Dacos, who'd already played 3 quarters.
Yeah. Anyway, I hoped that some Collingwood fans felt a bit of guilt or shame at that win. I listened to RSN podcast on today maybe, and Mick Sharkey, who's a North fan, said that he was leaving the grandstand and got abused by Pies fans. So safe to say, if Rory McIlroy ever picks up an AFL club, Collingwood would be the perfect option for him, I reckon. He's with his daughter too. I think was the sort of gist of
what I've never ever understood why people act that way over an entertaining game that we're lucky to all go and watch. Like, you've paid your money, shows that maybe Mick didn't pay money, maybe he might have been looked after.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he paid.
But especially being with his daughter. Like, what do you get as a human being? What do you get out of that? I don't understand. I do not understand.
I like going footy and like giving it to like grown men our own age, you know.
And cheering and having a bit of banter, but not abusing someone when they're leaving with their daughter.
Fuck you, mate. Your team's shit.
Yeah, that's crook. That is so crook.
Righto, it's time for trivia. This week's trivia is brought to you by CTW Excavations. Tight access solutions. They go where the big boys won't. Find them on Instagram, get involved. As I said every other time, chance of a cheeky dart and your chance of a discount if you offer dim sim. Especially
if you bring a dim at the moment, he's abstaining from dim sims day 6 and he's lost hearing in his right eye. So shout out to the great man. Hope he's holding up okay at home from those withdrawal symptoms.
I think a lot of people will lose their hearing in their right eye. But righto, Dan, take it away.
Righto. Thank you for letting me host the quiz. Big fan. I was very, very inspired by Juzzy's efforts last week. So, let's get it. We've got 4 categories. Bit of racing, bit of Olympics, bit of golf, and a little bit of AFL to finish.
And I'm $1.40. You're fucking kidding me. I'm about $4, I reckon.
$1.70. You've just blown out.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
So we'll have 5 questions each category. And then
here we go.
A bonus question at the end. All right, ready to go.
Let's do it.
First question, racing. Zach Lloyd won his first Group 1 on Saturday.
Stradbroke, Steffi Magnetica.
Wrong. I'll finish the question for you, Pratty.
Yep.
Son of Jeff.
Fuck.
Name Jeff's other son, also a jockey.
Yeah, won't matter. 0-all. 100-1? 200-1. He is 500-1 to get this question right.
I'll say Michael.
No. Jade.
Spew.
In 2021, Jay Carr rode 100 Victoria Metro winners to break the record. Whose record did she break?
Pratty. Oliver?
No.
Don't know.
He retired today. Brett Preble.
Oh, fuck, yep. Fair.
All right. How many Scobie Breesley medals has God's greatest human, Craig Williams, won?
Pratty.
Jack.
3.
No.
Pratty. 4.
No. 5.
Fuck.
God. It's a 0-all draw at the moment.
Yeah, we're sending well.
Quizmaster's stumping you tonight.
Yeah, 100%.
Righto. Race 4. Question 4. Still on below. How many Rupert Clark Stakes has Willow won?
Pratty. 6.
Oh, good guess, Mike. Great guess.
Yes. That's good. So that's one of the one category down of the one category that I might know.
Slow down. That's good. Don't get ahead of yourself.
You can take off points for dissent when he starts to do that sort of shit. You can
coming from you.
Or you can take off points for buzzing in before the question's over.
No, that's tactical. You can do that.
Righto, nearest to the pin, so you both get a go. In 2019, Be Good to Your Mother on the Rupert Clark Stakes, Group 1 for myself. What was his SP price?
Pratty. $3.40.
Dicko?
So if I take like $3.30, I just got everything under?
That's how it works, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take $3.30.
$3.10.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I thought it was.
If I had to go first, I would have said $2.80, $2.90.
Yeah, right. I made a
I
mistake there.
think on the day, I think it went like $2.40 out to $3.10. Righto, that's racing down.
1-1.
Olympics. Ariana Titmus won the 400-metre freestyle gold at the 2020 Olympics. Who did she dethrone as the champion?
Jack, Emma McEwen.
No.
Yeah, don't know. No.
Katie Ledecky.
Oh,
No.
yank.
Right. Who was recently and controversially left off the Women's USA basketball team for 2024? Jack.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes, good get.
What was she left off for? Just didn't make the
She's a
team.
rookie and she's not good enough yet.
Yeah, right.
Righto, question 3. Who won gold in 2020 in golf?
Jack. Xander Schauffele.
Good get. Question
Well played.
4. This is a good one. In 2000, Sydney Olympics, who was Australia's flag bearer?
Jack. Andrew Gaze.
Yes, good get.
Oh,
And
that's a great get.
for an
Very
extra
good get.
point, how many Olympic Games did Andrew Gaze compete at?
Pratty.
5.
Oh, you go first, sorry, Dicko.
5.
5, good get.
Shouldn't have given it to him.
He's streaking you now. You're on the drift.
Can we get a little score update here?
Oh, mate, there's no
5,
chance. Oh,
5
none.
to 1.
I'm
I thought
absolutely
this would
none.
be
Here.
your category, Pratty.
What, Olympics?
Yeah,
I don't watch the Olympics, basically.
That's disgraceful.
that's un-Australian. Oh,
Yeah.
Never been a massive fan.
Okay. This is a possible 4 points on this one.
Oof.
American track and field champion Carl Lewis won 9 gold medals over 4 Olympics. He won 4 in 84, 2 in 88, 2 in 92, and 1 in 96. For a point each, name what events?
Jack.
Jack, go.
400.
No.
Can I have, how many guesses have I got?
400 metres.
I was going to say 400 metre relay.
Oh, here we go. Turned it up. Look at the grin on his face.
I didn't finish.
No,
The
bullshit.
4 by 100 metre relay or the 400 metre race?
4 by 100 metre relay.
That's one.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. That is
Long-
absolute... That's
Long
bullshit.
jump.
That's 2.
High jump.
No. Pratty?
200,
Yes.
100 metres.
Good job, 2 each. He won the long jump in all 4 Olympics.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's pretty good. Now, bonus question. How many did he win clean? Kidding.
Jack.
That's not a question. That's not a question. Right. Next category. Golf. Score check. Dicko, 7. Pratty, 3.
I'm pretty happy with 3 there, to be honest.
Question 1. Who were Bryson DeChambeau's 2 childhood idols?
Jack.
Jack.
Corey Paven.
No.
What's
Pratty,
his name then? His dad was 1.
You're out. I said no.
Okay.
But didn't you say who were his idols? Like,
Yeah,
Plural.
and you got the first one wrong, so that disallows
Is this-
you to have a second guess.
Is this descent? Can you deduct one? Considering
awesome.
he said 400 metres, not 4 by 100, but anyway,
Get
let
the
that one
white
slide.
out, yeah?
that
Paven's,
sounded like dissent actually there from you. So
Paven's dad? 'Cause I don't know what his name is.
What?
Isn't that what you just said?
oh, he's trying to cheat me. Can I go
No,
again now?
I don't know. Do not
He's
know.
he's
No.
Bryson's father was one of his heroes,
Oh,
and
right.
the other was a golfer that wore like grouse long socks with the 3/4 pants and the like golf version of the Peaky Blinders hat. That I've misplaced his name.
Okay, so they only mentioned his name about 1 million times during the weekend. But there's a bit of controversy to it because early days Bryson said his hero was Ben Hogan, and he used to wear the Peaky Blinders hat. And then when he went to the college, SMU, and found out Payne Stewart went to that college, he changed his story and told everyone his idol was Payne Stewart, and that's why he wears the hat. So they were the two, but you both got it wrong, so it's irrelevant.
Good questions.
That's a great question.
All right. Question 2. What year did Payne Stewart win the US Open?
Jack. 1999.
Oh, good guess. Yes. Very good guess. Considering you didn't know who he was 30 seconds ago.
No, I knew who he was. I just couldn't remember his name. He won it 25 years ago.
They mentioned him like a million times on the weekend.
Yeah, I was thinking Corey Pavin. I don't even know if he's a rugby league player or a golfer.
No, he's
now.
a golfer. He's a golfer. Do you know Payne Stewart died in a plane crash 3 months after that USO?
Yeah.
There
Shit.
you go. Bit of trivia for you.
Private plane,
Question
hey?
3. Yeah. Question 3. How many putts inside 3 feet was Rory
Pratty.
this season?
He's gone early.
497 for 497.
Oh, Michael. No.
Finish the question, please, Quizmaster.
How many putts inside 3 feet was Rory this season before Sunday?
Like, how many had he missed?
No, how many putts had he made from how many attempts?
497.
That's what Pratty said.
What did you? Is that what you said?
Surely I get awarded that. Surely.
Is it 474?
No. Oh, Jesus. It was...
What was it, Dan?
496 from 496.
Yeah. So I was closest.
You hadn't missed
Surely I
yeah,
get it.
but you get nothing for that. You get nothing. You nearly lose a point, Jack, for saying the same thing.
Because I screenshotted it and sent it to the boys and just said punts and Juzzy can stop anyone.
Insane. Righto. Question 4.
There's no one at home who's beating me right now either. And if Paps was here, he would be on less than you.
How do you know?
So I'm on fire tonight. I can feel
Yeah, but how
it.
do you know that there's nobody at home beating you? That's one of the most outlandish statements I reckon that's ever come out of your mouth.
That's what my gut's telling me.
Fair enough.
Righto. Question 4. As we head to the Open Championship at Royal Troon, the last time was there in 2016. Who won?
Pratty. Rory?
No. If he hasn't won one for 10 years, that would make it pretty hard to win one in 2016.
Yeah.
Fair call.
Yeah, it would. Jack. Louis Oosthuizen.
No. Henrik Stenson.
Oh, the big
All right, for an extra point, who did he beat?
Jack. Phil Mickelson.
Correct. Henrik was about 20 under, Phil was 17 under, and third was about 4 under. They just absolute space jogged him.
It's awesome.
Righto. Nearest to the pin. From 1998 to 2005, how many consecutive cuts did Tiger Woods make? It's a standoff to go first.
It is.
Jack should know this if he's a Tiger Woods fan.
Probably, how many years is it? 96 to 2000 what?
7 years. They call it the record that'll never be broken.
7 years. 7 times. Jack. 181.
Pratty.
Pratty 180.
Oh, 142.
Yeah, that'll do. I needed
bad.
something.
Need something. Righto, AFL, now your chance, all right?
Oh, gotta be. Come on.
What's the score?
The score is Jack 9, Pratty 4. So we've got 5 questions finished with a who am I. So there's Possible 5 points up for that.
Shit, I am pushing
Like
shit
the
up
old
Billy.
Herald Sun one. That's great.
And
That's
then
good.
Love
we've
this.
got a bonus question at the end worth 3 points. So you've got a chance.
Fucking righto. Right, let's go.
Okay. In 2017, in the NAB Cup Grand Final, who missed a goal after the siren to win the game?
Pratty. Rewalt. Nick Rewalt.
2017, he'd lost 2 grand finals by then in AFL.
Yeah. I'm just taking a guess, mate. Trying to progress forward.
NAB Cup is under 18s.
Oh, the NAB Cup. I thought you meant the pre-season comp. My apologies.
No.
Hey, well,
So no idea.
No, it's not Nick Rewalt.
It can't be Nick Rewalt.
so he came to the comp about then. Jack Tom Papley?
No, but he would have got this. It was Joel Amati.
Topical. Like it.
So for an extra point, who did he play for?
Pratty. Sydney Metro.
No,
New South Wales.
Sandringham Dragons.
Oh, Sandy Dragons.
Didn't know
I knew
that.
that.
Did not know that.
Paps would have known that, I reckon.
Yeah, he would have.
Righto. I only knew that because my brother-in-law coached the Geelong Falcons and they beat them. And he reminded me on Sunday morning after Joel kicked 9 on Saturday night.
Love that.
He said that's what made him work on his goal kicking. Right, question 2. Who leads the league in 2024 for disposals?
Pratty. Adam Treloar.
Correct. For an extra point, Pratty, how many?
Oh, fuck. 400.
Ooh, 451. Right, this would have been a good one for the Sydney boys, but Jack might be up your alley. The Sydney Swans / South Melbourne have 11 individual Brownlow medal winners. For a point each, name 5 of them.
Pratty.
Jack?
Pratty got him first.
Oh, fuck off.
By a mile, too.
What the? Like,
Good-
you
good.
kind of said I was going to answer the question. I didn't even get a crack at the disposal count.
Goods is one.
That's one.
How long's he got? 5, 4,
Oh,
3.
a bit longer than
O'Loughlin.
Oh,
No.
yuck.
I didn't know that. Nah, don't
That's
know.
all right, one. Righto, Jack.
Jared
fuck,
Healy.
I'm cooked now. Oh,
Yep.
Healy.
One.
Paul
Fuck,
Kelly.
That's bad.
Adam Goods again. He won 2, not 1. He only said it once.
He did.
Bob Skilton times 3.
Yes.
You can't. You've only got 4 points to get, mate. You can't get it
Well,
anymore.
Bob Skilton.
No, I just don't. I don't want to lose by that many.
You can get 5 too. You got 1.
That's all I got.
That's pretty good. Diesel Williams,
Oh, fuck.
Barry
Yeah.
Round, Graham
Oh, I was going to say
Teasdale,
Barry Round, but I didn't think he
Graham
was...
Teasdale, and then a few
Never
others
heard
I
of
didn't
him.
know that. A few other South Melbourne players: Bedford, Goldsmith, Clegg, and Matthews. So 4 to Jack and 1 to Pratty.
Oh, I'm getting obliterated here.
It's all right. We've still got the Who Am I? You're a chance.
No chance. He's in the front by about 11, Dan. You have a go at my math. Fuck.
Righto, nearest to the pin. What was the crowd for Dusty's 300?
Jack. 92,356.
Pratty, 92,560.
Wrong way, son. 92,311.
That's an amazing crowd, by the way. I couldn't believe when I saw that on Twitter. I knew it was 92. That
feels
is
good to win.
unbelievable.
Not wrong. Righto, who am I? 5 questions for the 5 points. Born June 26th, 1991.
Will Hayward.
If he's answered, does that mean that he's done?
No, he's not done, but you get first crack at the 4-pointer, okay?
All right.
For 4 points. Drafted third pick in 2009.
Luke Parker.
No. 3 points. Made his debut in 2010 against Carlton.
Oh, let's just slow down here.
We can't go any slower, can we?
Pick 3. I don't have a clue.
Want to
Yeah,
have
I've
a
got
stab?
no idea either.
2 points. 3-time Norm Smith medalist.
Jack.
Pratty, oh fuck me.
Dustin Martin.
Dustin Martin is correct. 2 points.
I didn't realise that he was only.
I was thinking Swans player. That's why
I thought it was a Swans player too. I didn't know he was a year younger than me. There you go.
Righto, it's more for a laugh now because you can't win.
What's it?
Pratty,
Can I just get the score, please, sir?
I don't want the score, thanks.
The score is 16-6.
Wow.
That's a demolition job.
Absolute bloodbath.
That is a demolition job. Olympics.
Bonus question for 3 points.
I'll make mine 9, yeah? So at least I still get closer.
Please spell Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh,
Jack. Y-A-I-N-A.
it's a G to start with, but I assume you mean just the last name.
No, either way, you're
Oh,
wrong.
why? Oh my god! I feel like this is a moral victory for me, big time.
This is why I included this
I'd
question.
have a hard time spelling like Longmire.
Yeah,
I thought Paps would be here too, and we'd have a good laugh about your
I'm
struggle.
extremely bad at spelling too. Have another crack, Dicko.
Just have
Starts
a go
with
at
a G.
just his last name. Don't worry about the first name if that's what stumped you.
A-N-T E. Maybe throw U in there. K.
No.
A-N-T-E-K.
A-N-T-E.
K.
He's looking at something. He's looking down.
I wrote down your first few letters. A-N-T-E-K.
No.
Nah. I got no idea then.
A-N-T-E-T-O-K-O-U-N-M-P-O.
That's a good one. That is a very good one.
Have you ever heard the Basil Zemplis try and say it on the radio?
Yeah, I have actually, yeah.
Big Baz.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, love it.
Well, good effort. Dicko, good effort.
Mate, God bless you. I'm actually just texting Tom now.
Lift your game.
All right. That was trivia. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Just to put Pratty, just knock him down a peg or two. We do a bit of trivia for my mailbag product, and he's always just right there, thereabouts. So, on behalf of everyone who does a trivia with me, Pratty, I'd like you just to tell you to go and suck it.
Yeah,
Dan, I'd just like to...
Perhaps just message back saying it doesn't count, so that's made my night.
Well, you can sort yourself out, Tom, but it's I'm off the mark. It wouldn't have mattered who was here. 16 points. That's a record that might never be beaten at the Early Crow.
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's a record I'm really proud of. I'd like to thank my mum for helping me when I was a kid to be so smart. And I'd like to thank Dan for coming on, talking golf, footy, NBA, and hosting a great edition of Trivia. Dan, any runners across the week, next week? Anything the punter at home should sort of black book, get ready to have a little wager upon responsibly, gamble responsibly, 1-800-858-858.
Always responsibly. One that ran second at Ballarat last week, Ballinado. Just keep an eye out for it in the next couple of weeks when it goes around again.
Ballinado, D. Bowman. Put in your black book. Dan, have a phenomenal week. Thanks for coming on. Bye
Thanks,
for now.
boys. Enjoy.
Thanks, Dan.
Righto, Pratty. It's just us now. A bit of eyes on ponies.
Yep.
A phenomenal weekend. I think we start with a little master. I don't think he would have made any impact at all to trivia. But I will say this. Over the last year, his journey in form analysis has been something to behold. His dedication to the process and learning and discipline and structure is very, very impressive, and it is starting to fruit. His set on Saturday backed up, I reckon, the last 3 to 4 sets that have been really, really strong.
Yep.
And he got paid big time on Saturday. Great set in Sydney. They all run big races. A lot of them shortened. I really like what he's doing, and I love that we've got a great set, a sharp set in Sydney.
Yeah, he couldn't have seen it much better, could he? They were just all landed in good spots in the right part of the track. A lot of them up on the rail. Franz Joseph was pretty tough getting over the top of him in the ninth. It didn't look like it was going to get there at about the 250, but that thing seemed to pick up stride.
Great call, Flindell, too. We were there at Sandown, and Big Daz roared that home, I remember.
Yeah, he did. He must have had a couple of acorns on himself, but yeah, no, it was a great set in Sydney on Saturday, and then it was the exact same for yourself at Sandown. You're obviously, I mean, you might say how good you are, but Sandown.
I don't know if it was not a great set. It was like one of the great sets all time at Sandown.
There you go.
Accompanied by the Golden Tonsils, Terry Bailey, TB, my man, your man, our man. To hear the big fella just rip raw Cadmus home in the last, which, to be fair, now that was a lie. I heard it on Twitter today when I watched the replay. I didn't actually hear him. I was there.
Yeah, it's because at the about the 1,000-metre mark, we've got Pony, and boy, did we have Pony kicking around the bend. The best was, I reckon, one of his better calls, just because it's TV and you love it, but when he said about Mrs. Chrissy's not picking up here, and as soon as he said it, it looked like the horse changed legs and it started to pick up a little bit, and I'm like, you got that one wrong turn, and Mrs. Chrissy has bolted away. But it was a very, very good Saturday. Did you like any off Broadway that didn't run into the placings at Sandown on the weekend?
I thought that of the winners we backed, not Mrs. Chrissy,
Miss Rumbini.
Miss Rumbini and Cadmus were probably the two most impressive ones, with upside and a bit of scope. And look, you can call me biased. People call me a lot of things. Some of them are fair, some of them probably not. But you can call me whatever you like. I really don't care. I thought our horse, Windstorm, in race 8 was enormous. Not suited, bundled at the start. He was half slow, the big fella. And Regards Marie jammed him, and he got pushed out the back. He made ground. Fastest or fourth fastest last 1,000 of the day, fourth fastest last 400 of the day, in inferior ground on a biased track. Went enormous. He went home, Pratty. You know what he did when he got home?
Licked the bin.
Licked it. He licked the bin.
Yes,
He's licked it right up the bin. Yeah, very happy with him. So happy, in fact, that he said, "What do you think about backing him up?"
Wow. And your comment was?
100%, big boy.
Oh, does that mean Flemington's on the cards this weekend?
That means headquarters, Saturday, Bowie Sticks, 600 metres, quick backup. I'll be betting.
Beautiful. So will I.
I'll be betting. He'll be going to Flemington on Saturday, unless we have a tiny setback. He'll only go if he's 100% right. That means he's going to be hard to beat if he runs, guys. That's Windstorm, Saturday, Flemington.
Did you catch much? We're obviously on course at Sandown on the weekend, but did you catch the...
Looking amazing too. I mean, you were understated, and I told you you're going to get cold, and you said, "No, I'm fine. Real aggressive, real quick. Like, calm down, mate. I'm not trying to have a go at you. I'm just saying, I come to Sandown for 6 years. I know what I'm doing here. This is my backyard. I know. And you got cold late because you underdressed.
I definitely didn't get cold late. I've got an extra 15% of a coat on me than you do at the moment, so my outer body layer keeps me a little bit warmer. I was running a little bit hot standing inside.
I operated the 3-piece woolen suit with an overcoat.
Yeah.
Toasty, warm, and forgot the scarf. That'll be out probably on Saturday.
Oh, here we go.
question for Saturday is, do I change the suit or not? Because what we did to that bookie on course in the last,
The bookies.
I'm a bit of a little bit superstitious. Don't know what to do, actually, to be honest. What are you thinking?
I'd be keeping things the same, mate. I wouldn't be changing
Same
too
suit,
much.
same Peaky Blinders hat and everything, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon just run the same
Definitely
operation.
putting the scarf on.
With
You at
the
least need to change. You at least need to change one thing, because you need Windstorm to win.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, hopefully he closes off the way he did, but settles a little bit further forward, and that might be proper exciting on Saturday. Yeah. Did you catch much else over the weekend? Did you have a look at any races up at Eagle Farm? What did you think of Broadsiding's win?
Very nice win to the eye. Not to the clock, though. I think he's overrated. I think he'll be overplayed in the spring. Could be wrong. Been wrong heaps of times. But I'd like to see the horse do a fair bit more before I stamped him as like a proper horse. I don't think he's the best 2-year-old we've seen. I think there's just a little bit of hype. And our man, James McDonald, he knows how to flare up a horse and just give it extra salt and pepper. I either told you or I told whoever I was with, I said, like, it's almost like you can't teach that the way he got up in the irons at the end. It just puts the extra razzle-dazzle on that win, and the punter and the dribbler just get so excited for that horse because the way he stood up in the irons and then said, he's a proper cult, this guy.
Yep. He's putting the words on the page for the banner when it goes to stud A.
Oh, he's right. Like, that's how good our man James McDonald is, right? He gives horses peaches 24/7.
Yeah.
He works his ass off. He'd be a great family man, just a good person, and he still has time to write fucking stallion ads for stud farms. He's basically writing the ad for him.
Yep.
I just hope, and I highly doubt he's not sharp enough, and jockeys love cash. You'd expect that he's going to get a clip for when they use his audio.
You'd hope so. If that's not written in the contract, you'd be baffled there. Be baffled. And then, what did you make of the Stradbroke? Bella Nipotina doesn't go on anything but wet ground, apparently. How enormous was that run from barrier 21?
Enormous, not suited. I don't think she's I think she's sharper over 1200 too. She's just a superstar, tough as nails. She's just one of the great horses. You'd love to be involved in a horse with half her ability and a tenth of her toughness, you know. She's a freak. Full credit to the winner. Nice ride, but 50 kilos, birthday stuff. I'd be treading carefully with it.
I think it's been tipped out, Steffi Magnetica. I think they're putting it out to the paddock, and Bella Nipotini's going around in the Tats Tiara. I think is that this weekend or next weekend?
I don't know. She's still going.
She's still going. Yep, she's going to the Tats Tiara Bella. If she had a one on the weekend, she would have carried the most weight for a mare in a Stradbroke. If she had a one on the weekend, but yes, she's going around again. Tats Tiara in. Let me confirm.
It's just like full credit to the horse. She's a freak. Full credit to Kieran Maher and his team. I know she didn't win, but she's like the horse out of the race that you got to talk about. She's a freak. There was some very disappointing performances in behind her. I don't know, like that horse was. I probably said this before, but like it's gone to like Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, Brisbane. Like it's just it's
crazy, isn't it? What did you think of Amenable? Does that kind of say that it's just much better on a soft ground?
Yep.
It still ran well, but probably not up to expectation of what the camp or people thought.
I think that's a camp you want to get stuck in it earlier in a prep too.
Okay. Was there anything else that you saw across the weekend that the punters should put in their black books or keep an eye on?
Just anything that made ground at Sandown. Is a very biased on-pace inside track there on Saturday. So from a punting point of view, we want to be careful about falling into a horse that was, really suited by the way the track raced there at Sandown, and just trying to not trying to force it to find a horse that made ground. But if you do find it through your structures and the way you do form, and then it was a horse that wasn't suited last start, well, maybe have a little bit more on. Gamble responsibly, of course, but yeah, nice and biased track. I think there's sort of patterns galore, in Sydney and in Melbourne. It's disappointing, but outdoor sport, and it's the middle of winter now, or getting towards it. So that's what's going to happen. Very, very happy though with how we bet, particularly at the mailbag as well. Pratty, not just the Eyes on Ponies slide was outstanding, and it always was, always will be. Stiff not landed a multi. Don't know why someone chucked in Husk, but we can talk about that later on. But yeah, I was really, really happy with. I'm really, really happy with what we're sort of spitting out now at the moment. They're strong, good prices, good positions we're taking, and really, really enjoying the Metro betting at the moment.
Love it, mate. Shall we wrap the episode there?
Yeah, that's been the Early Crow, episode 38, brought to you by Makita. Right now, get amazing bonuses with selected Makita XGT 40-volt and 80-volt max kits and combos. Limited time only. Visit makita.com.au for details. Makita XGT. More intelligent, more efficient, more power, more Makita. Have a great week, whatever you're doing. Gamble responsibly. Be nice to each other. Bye for now.